The media analysis solution, which you got a little peek into, is several AWS services stitched together to provide media analysis. So what you do is you upload image, video, text, or audio to S3. S3 triggers Lambda. Lambda triggers step functions, which will then run it through, in this case, 3 services: recognition, transcribe, and comprehend. You'll see media convert here. This actually just extracts audio for you. It extracts the audio, which is then used by transcribe. The real reason for that is transcribe has a limit of 2 gigs of a file, which if you're thinking of audio, 2 gigs is a lot. If you're thinking of a production video from a large media provider, 2 gigs is definitely not big enough. So you can extract the audio, do the audio extraction separately. That way you can handle multi-hour content. Once it's done with that, it feeds it into Elasticsearch, which makes it searchable. So now you actually have a searchable media library. We wanted to take that and make it more extensible. Recognition, transcribe, great, but what if you want to use SageMaker? I think Chris, he needs the code back there. So we are putting this up in GitHub. It's actually up in GitHub now. You'll see a lot more over the next year about how this works. But this is a solution, and when I say solution, this is a set of code that you can take and you can extend and you can build out on yourself. It's a framework to allow you to quickly build ML applications for media workloads. That's what we're going to get hands-on with today. It's called the Media Insights Engine. More, stay tuned on that. So what is the benefit? It's meant for many different use cases. A couple use cases we'll talk about right now in detail is C-SPAN, which has been an Amazon customer for quite a long time, indexes all of their people for who's on TV at what time. However, you might have a different use case, which is maybe you want to analyze all your content for potential compliance issues, nudity, violence, gore, those type of things. Maybe you actually have different media use cases. You have a training library and you want to actually take all of the training library and make it searchable in something like Amazon Kendra. We don't know all the things you might want to do with media processing. So the MIE was designed to be extensible. Another use case is Textract. Maybe you want to make a full document processing pipeline that allows you to extract insights from your application. So the MIE, as it's called, is designed to be extensible and very modular. So each module can operate independently of another and hand off the output. So for instance, you could transcribe the data. So now you have all the words are now transcribed into a piece of JSON document. You can then translate those into another language and then put that back into Poly for dubbing. So those would be individual operators that can operate independently of each other. So we'll go through that today in the workshop and actually go through some of the modularity. It's designed to allow the quick addition of new features. Not as quick as I would have liked. We're going to use SageMaker today to do a custom model. That custom model is built to look for Amazon logos. That's a model I built using SageMaker using the object detection notebook. As I told you earlier today in the kickoff, we now have custom label support and recognition. To get that into MIE should only take 1 to 2 days worth of work. Unfortunately, over the holidays, I haven't got to the 1 to 2 days of work, so we're going to use SageMaker. But integrating it in very quickly is very possible and very doable. So as new features come out, as new models come out, we want you to be able to take this solution and use it. You may actually want to do more than just recognition or SageMaker. Maybe you want to implement a third party from the model marketplace. A good example is recognition will be able to tell you that there is a Jaguar car in a piece of content. So great, it found out there's a Jaguar, which is impressive, an impressive label to go down into a car brand. There is a third-party model in the marketplace from a company called Deep Vision that actually analyzing the same content will tell me that there's a 2007 Jaguar XJ. If you need that much detail, maybe you want to go to a third-party model. So the idea is to allow you to create different ways, and we'll actually take the MIE and iterate on it today. It is a one-click CloudFormation template that allows you to quickly get this built out. We're using Event Engine, but I'll show you where the GitHub code is. If you want to launch this in your own account, it's very easily done. It is well architected, so it is architected for speed, performance, cost. It's designed to be extensible, and it follows the well architected best practices from AWS. So resistant to single points of failure, all of that. It's also very hard to think about how, like, recognition is an API. You feed it an image, and you get back a response. What to do with that is a lot of people's challenge. So the MIE is built to actually build that out and show you how to stitch these services together. So this is, again, just the beginning. So in the first workshop, we're actually just going to build it out and go through a quick understanding of it. Let's see. Here's how it looks. So the input would be a video, content, audio, text, depending on what your use case is. It would come in, and then we have operators. And as I said, these operators are discrete things that perform an action. So operator one, and Gene, for the operator examples, that would be extract the video, extract the frames.
Yeah, I mean, so some of the built-in stuff. Hi, I'm Gene, by the way.
I pre-introduced you.
Cool. Sorry about this, but yeah, there'll be some built-in operators that come with the engine. Things that you would do like a basic, one basic unit of work. That's
I'll restate, yeah.
Yeah, extracting. You want to do the actual extracting frames from the
So,
video as a pre-conversion. You might actually want to run the images through recognition. That's another operation in itself.
Yeah, to put it in terms, recognition video, for instance, works on a video. You feed it an MP4 file, and you get JSON data of every object in that video with a time code. SageMaker works on images. SageMaker, there is no built-in algorithm in SageMaker right now that operates on video. But as you know, video is a sequence of frames, which are images. So what Gene is saying is an operator in our world, you could actually have an operator that actually takes all the video and extracts all the frames. Now you can process those frames one by one in a sequential fashion. So the operators will manipulate the content in some way, shape, or form. It could extract the audio. That would be an operator. Yep. We had a question? So yeah, the end result will be exactly what you're talking about. The question was, does it find the object? Does it give you a time code? Does it give you bounding boxes? That is the end result of this solution. Recognition, excuse me, recognition video will do that natively. If you give it recognition video, you'll get a JSON back with objects, bounding boxes where applicable, who's in each video. We're going to go through that pretty heavily in the first workshop, but if you want to move beyond recognition video, you need to start doing frame processing. And we've found that media customers struggle with that. They need to implement FFmpeg, which has some license constraints, or OpenCV, or they need to pull the frames and then operate on those individual frames. So in the Media Insights engine, each operator can do an action and then hand off that component to the next thing. So this could extract the frames, which includes time code information. This could actually run the frame through a SageMaker model or recognition, and that could be a stage at that point. Anything to add? Hi. Yeah. Yep. Anything to add on this since you built it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end, one of the things you're going to see today during the workshop is that, so we're talking about like there'll be several stages, there'll be several operators per stage.
It's working.
Oh, okay, cool. One of the things you might want to do is that certain operations you think you could actually run parallel, like you could do the frame extraction at the same time as, say like extracting out the audio. So you could do actually transcriptions of the audio off the video. That's something you could do in parallel. You certainly don't, especially the way things operate in the cloud, you could actually make like a source content available for multiple operations to be processed simultaneously. And then that would consist of one stage. So this way you could, these are like these kind of optimizations you can do on your workflow as well, as you create more and more complex workflows to meet your end goals.
And stages cannot run in parallel. Stages have to run sequentially. So example here could be you extract the audio, and then stage 2 could be a translation phase. Would that be a good example of a stage 2? Yeah. So extracting the audio. This is already done for you, but we want to give you, if you want to extend the Media Insight engine, we want to make sure you understand the terminology that's in here. We will be going into stages and operators in Lab 2, I believe. So all in all, that ends with a workflow. So here, this workflow could be media analysis. So in the media analysis, it's actually extracting frames, processing the frames, extracting audio, processing audio. The end result is your output is a full set of what's in that video, the content that's in the video. It will become clear once we start running it. And you can run multiple workflows. So this could be multiple different uploads of content. It could be multiple different things. It is designed to be serverless and parallel. So if you upload 10 videos, you can set the concurrency so it can process those 10 videos in parallel. So it'll extract, run these stages through multiple content. We do separate the control plane, which actually organizes all of this. We use step functions primarily, and we'll get heavy in step functions, which is an AWS service to coordinate state machines. It's a coordinated state system, so you can actually run those parallel workflows. How do you mean?
Like one channel is voice, the other channel is video.
So the input could be whatever you choose. You could actually, yeah, so how this works is the file can be modified, and that's where we have a lot of services that can help. Elemental Media Convert can do all kinds of media processing. If you have multiple audio files, you can actually run all of them. So you might have multiple language, multi-audio language. You might have descriptive audio. These are all separate. A workflow would trigger for each of those things, for instance.
In this case, it's more like there may be a field exercise.
Yep.
Right? And then you have video recording, no audio, and then you must separate.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, that's where you could choose what workflows to run. If there's no audio, then don't run any of the audio workflows. This is a bit abstracted. What you're seeing is each of the primitives would spin up. So transcribe would run against audio if you had audio. But if there's no audio, you would actually just not run the transcribe operator at all. You would want to save the money. If there's no audio, you would not want to run audio. There's the way it works default, which is to process an MP4 file, which is a very general way. This is designed to be extensible. So you could build it for non-normal video, like for instance, night vision, or depending on the use case, you could build a way to process it in any way. It's very much, the default is very much geared towards media assets right now. At the same time, that's why it's extensible. So it can handle multi-channel. How you did it would be up to you if you wanted to do multi-channel. The video and audio, I don't consider that two channels. That's two different paths or two different workflows. But if you had like 3D camera, if you had two camera feeds coming in, you might have to think of how to handle that. Yeah. Yes, something like that. And the question is how to handle non-normal video sources like multi-channel audio, which we are using or Elemental Media Convert. So you could do any type of video processing. A great example is for SageMaker, and actually a lot of computer vision. It actually is sometimes computationally very expensive to process very large content. So if you're bringing in a 4K video or 8K video, you might want to run something like Media Convert to down convert that video, which would speed up your processing, lower the cost of inference, get you a very accurate, like if you're not looking for things like color correction and you're just looking at what objects are in a video, if that video is 8K or 720, the people in the video are still identifiable. So it makes sense to, and this actually is a general ML concept for computer vision, is to down-res it. For instance, Deep Racer, which we worked on earlier, grayscales the data because Whether or not the car sees in color does not affect its driving at all. So similarly, with a media processing engine, you'll want to likely downscale the content so that you can process it. Data persistence API, this is where you want to store your information. So this does all the processing. The media analysis solution stored its data in Elasticsearch. It's a good place to store it, but depending on your use case, it may not be a great place to store it. Elasticsearch is very good at certain things, is not as good at other things. For subtitling and captioning and translation, Dynamo may be a better fit because you can actually change it really quickly. Yep.
Just a question. Can you run the engine on live workflows? So media live connected to real-time captioning, for example?
At the moment, no, but I do have a real-time captioning solution that we launched about a year ago that's specifically, and I can show it to you, it's specifically geared at taking a broadcast stream and adding and I hesitate to say captioning because you're essentially doing speech to text. Captioning is a whole world beyond just speech to text. But if you wanted to do something like live subtitles, we actually have a solution already. Contact me and I can get you the GitHub code. It's another CloudFormation template that just deploys a media live, which is a AWS service. You point a stream at it, and it actually does real-time captioning or subtitling and translation. So you can then say make those subtitles in German, and it will translate on the fly. So I'll show you that. Maybe I'll show it if I get time later. So as I said, we have the control plane, which organizes these workflows and operators, and then we have the data plane, which persists the data. Could be S3, could be Elasticsearch, could be Dynamo. With Lambda, can go wherever. We'll build this out in just a couple minutes, but the end result is you put in a video and you get out information. I know I'm making it sound more complex than it is. This is for anyone who wants to get very deep into the developer side of it. At its default purpose, it is pretty functional in that it will get celebrities, audio, objects, labels, all of that right out of the box. Here's the initial applications that we see usable. So identify objects in a video, transcribe speech, generate captions. Again, this does non-live, but we already have a very targeted live solution as well. Content moderation. So look for things like suggestive scenes, violence, nudity. Really use it to find where you might have to moderate your content. Instant translation, as I said, we have 58 language pairs, up to 2,400 combinations of languages that we can translate. And this framework is going to extend over time. And we actually have it up in GitHub, so hopefully you guys can help extend, build out use cases, commit the different applications back. So here is the architecture that we have. As I said, content will land in S3, which will trigger step functions. So the Lambda will trigger the step functions, which right now runs it through these 4 services: transcribe for speech to text, translate for language translation, comprehend for understanding what's being talked about in the content, entity extraction, topics, whatnot. Recognition, which does all the video. We're actually going to add SageMaker in here today in our workshop. And then it stores it. Right now, we are storing it primarily to Elasticsearch, but you'll see the different options as well. Custom operators is what we'll be building out in both labs 2 and 3. A good example is right now, recognition does not support text in a video. So recognition can give you text in an image, but the feature for text in video has not been launched. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a video and run the frames through recognition image. And the end result was we'll have text in video on a video, but we'll be using recognition image to do it. And similarly, we'll do the same with SageMaker as well. The other thing that's nice about this is when you're doing the custom operators, you can specify how many frames to process. Recognition does videos, but you don't have control over how many frames to process. There's a very specific use case that matters. You can, 1, lower your costs depending. to moderation, which we'll talk about in a second. We'll get the live going. We'll talk about it after we get you guys building. I want to get you guys hands-on as quick as possible. So this is the correct one. Have we checked this? Yeah. So if we go here, and Gene, does this have the event engine? Do I have to tell them how to get to event engine?
Yeah, I think we still have to put up the link for the
Here we go.
dashboard for the event engine.
Yep.
And then the credentials you guys will be using today to log into your version, your instance of the workshop.
So let me add that here. I know, I'm adding the link because the lab is actually the instructions, but the event engine is the environment you're going to be working in. So let me, and the codes that were sent out are hash codes for event engine. So right here, good time. Yep. Yep. Oh, oh yeah. Let me put that up. Yeah. And once you get in Event Engine, you'll all be using the same credentials, which I will put up as well.
Yeah, well, not event engine, but the actual MIE sample work web app that you guys can be playing with. So every one of you guys will have like an individual instance of the MIE running inside of your copy of the workshop for today.
And if you build out the MIE yourself, you'll get your own credentials. It uses Cognito, which is Amazon's authentication as a service that allows you to do SAML, OAuth, really add authentication into any app. What's it? I'm getting the, yeah. One sec. And, oh, and yeah, if you are in an account from earlier, you will have to log out to log in as the event engine. All right, so this should have the information. So yeah, to clarify, this is the environment you're running in. These are the instructions. So this should just be a serverless website that walks you through the 3 labs we're going through today. And right now we're just doing lab 1, is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, so just do lab 1 right now.
A couple of things, you'll probably want to keep one separate tab open for the instructions, another one open for...
That's actually once you get in your environment, once you have the event engine running. The lab guide will tell you when to use that information.
It's basically a credential that you'll use when you actually launch the MIE web app for the first time. You'll get a login page for that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's what we passed out. That's the piece of paper. Yep. Which is different than the code you got when you first got here this morning. Looks very similar though.
This piece of paper, right?
That looks like the code, Gene. Oh, is that? I think that's the code. I think it's the promo code, not the hash. Here, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think that I have.
The username and password will become important once you start using the website listed in the lab. So just go to the lab and start using it. Yeah, you do not need this until you get deep into here. All you need up here is the hash, what Chris or Gene handed out earlier.
So a couple of things here. If you guys went into the event engine just now and you guys seen like an event hasn't started yet, please just refresh the page. I had to actually kick off the event as part of the startup for the workshop for everyone. Number two, part of a bit of a flub that happened this morning was that provisioning the workshop took a little longer than expected. So for some people, they might run into an issue seeing an incomplete workshop. If that's the case, just let us know. We'll swap out the hash code for you guys and start to one that's actually working for you.
Yeah, and the error will be incomplete work. Like, what's the error going to be in Event Engine?
So like you'll probably see something like most likely you'll see something like when the instructions tell you to go to the CloudFormation stack, you might not be able to see the CloudFormation stack yet. In which case, then it's probably still in the middle of trying to be stood up. And in which case, then just come to us. We'll give you a hash code that's actually working.
How many people are there, do you think? Oh. Oh. What's that?
First step is go to AWS, right? So do we log in as us or?
No, that's here. So if you go here,
Okay.
there, yeah. Yeah, and in the Event Engine, you'll see the AWS console. So open the AWS console. That's how you get to your version of the console. You need to log out of your other account. So yeah. Now try that one more time. Yeah. So now you're in the Event Engine console. Yeah. Yep, now you can keep going. And we are using Cloud9 in Lab 2, which is a cloud-based developer IDE, just to make it easier to type in command lines and whatnot. So you'll see that in Lab 2.
Is this something I need to log into my account?
You need to log out of this account first. Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah. Sign out. So now go to Event Engine.
I have one here.
Yep. Open the console.
And it asked me to log out, which is.
Well, you had to log out of your own account to get into this. So this, if you look at, this was provisioned for you today.
Oh, this is the one I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you're not in your account, you're in the Event Engine account. And these accounts will be good throughout the day. Again, if you want to build this in your own account, it's on AWS Labs, the Media Insights engine. It's up there for use. So we can help you build that out in your own account as well. lab. If anyone's getting the error about needing to log out, that's because you're logged into your own account from Deep Racer. Log out and then go back to the event ending page and go back in. You're going to log into a provisioned account for this lab. Yeah, hold on, let me see. Yeah, so right now you're logged in as you, so you want to log out.
So I need to log out?
Yeah, log out. Yeah, there.
Log out from here.
Yep.
Okay, sign out, and I have to log in as.
And now just click that thing again.
Okay, go ahead.
Click that again.
Click on it.
Yep, and you will open AWS console, and you'll be automatically in. So we use yep, we use SSO. So you already are logged in. You don't have to type in a name or password. Yeah, yeah. What's up? Another code for you? Oh no, you're. Oh yeah, creating progress. Gene, one more. He needs one. I can do it. Just give me a couple.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like yours isn't done building yet. It looks like you're not far off, but let's just try a different one. Yep. What you got?
It didn't seem to create this directory. Maybe I was this old workshop, so I ran.
That might be a typo. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on one sec. Yep.
I went to the site, put in this code. I don't see any stacks here.
Yep. Try this one instead. Some of these aren't done building. Hey, Gene. Can you go help that guy?
Okay. Just to see from the event engine console
Yep.
where they're supposed to be.
Yep. So it's the lab guide, which is there. That DL3.
Okay. Okay. I
Do you
get
have
it.
Do you have the lab guide?
Yeah. Issue. No, I didn't.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh, you have that. Okay. Yep. So this lab 1 is what you're going through now that you have it. So just start at lab 1. And then this, once you read this, you can go to the next sec. Yep. But start at the beginning and go through. Yeah. Yep. 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 How's it going?
Is that on the CLI installed?
Let me confirm with Gene. So before you can do lab one, you have to run through the lab setup instructions on the website. There is lab setup, lab one, lab two, lab three. And the stack name is in CloudFormation as an output.
Hey everyone. So there's a bit of a flub on the docs where we need to set the username for the username we're giving you for today. Um, so 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 in order to do that, you just need to actually set one command.
You know, many people are, when it does AWS describe stacks, it says command not found. It's like a bash error.
Yeah. So it looked like they might have used either the incorrect region or their stack hasn't completed yet.
Oh, okay. How do I check the stacks?
I think just go to the confirmation console. Just change the stack. So yeah, so sorry about this part, this one piece here. So because we made a slight change recently to the workshop to just preset a username and a password for you guys. One of the things I needed to change that you guys will actually just have to type this command as part of the setup in the console, so that this way you guys can actually log in from the CLI to the MIE engine as well. Huh? That's okay. It's coming. It is coming. Um, there we go. Huh, finally. The password is actually what you see in the. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, hold on. Wow, this is slow. All right, so then, yeah, so the password's actually at the bottom over there. Starts with AWS MAE NY Loft 2020 exclamation point.
No problem. I got that. So it was I was missing that username. I hadn't said it.
Yeah.
Yep. And just so everyone knows, after the workshop, we are wrapping for the day. I think the loft closes at 5:30. This is set to run till 5:15. We'll stick around. I got a couple more presentation components once people get through Lab 1, but just wanted to let everyone know there's nothing else after this other than this workshop.